Hey JYM ARMY, specifically Jason Schmidt. Jason, thank you for posting your video the other day where you were talking about some supination issues that you have in your arm because you had some abnormalities that you're dealing with, which is limiting you to some of the things you can do specifically for arms. So what I want to do is I want to actually take the opportunity to show you some of the things that you can do. Now, again, when you're talking about not being able to fully supinate, you're limited as to what you can do. Now, just understand something. That's perfectly okay. You're still going to be able to get some of the size that you want. The position of the arm in a neutral position here, when you're talking about doing hammer curls, not being able to fully supinate, you're still emphasizing the arm, specifically the brachialis, but you're not getting the full contraction of the bicep, okay? So it's very difficult for you to do a regular bicep curl if you're standing in this position here. But there are things that you can do, so I'm gonna walk you through a couple things. So first of all, I saw a video where you were doing standing high cable curl like this, which was a little bit easier for you. And the reason for that is because the position that the arm is in. So that's what you have to start doing, is you have to start playing around with the position of the hand. So what you can do is just like what you were doing, is you can do a high cable curl, just like what you're doing. The other thing you can do, because of the position of your arm, you're not able to fully supinate, you can do things to where, let's say you just take a cable here, okay? Now if you notice my arm isn't supinated, it's still at this angle here. Step away, and you can actually do a cable curl in here. Now again, even if your arm is here, you'll still be able to get as much as you can of a contraction out of here. It's almost like a cross body concentration curl using the cable, okay? But because the angle of the cable isn't vertical, it allows you to instantly have a constant load applied to that muscle, even if you can't turn all the way in. But because your humerus, you're rotating the shoulder out here, you're gonna get a little bit different position if your arm was here because you can't fully supinate. The other thing you can do is over on the dumbbells. You can take a dumbbell if you can hold it. If you can't hold it because of your thumb, that's perfectly okay, all right? You can hold it here and just literally hold with your fingertips. If you see my fingertips, I'm not even using my thumb here. Use a lighter dumbbell, do the same type of a thing. If you can't fully turn off, your hand's only limited here, just the position of the belt, just come up to the center of your pec here. These are just some alternative exercises you can do. I'm not fully supinated, I'm not even using my thumb. The idea is to try and go control because you are limited. You're not going to be able to really move a whole lot of weight with a barbell that's fixed. So think about doing things that allow you to have a free motion into your hand. Cables, bands, dumbbells, things that are not on a fixed position. This barbell, if I'm doing something like a barbell curl, that's fixed. I can't manipulate it. You mentioned about doing certain things with the easy bar is a little bit easier. That's perfectly fine. You're still, even on the easy bar, you're still able to get a good contraction onto the bicep. Remember, the bicep, yes, the more that you supinate here, you're actually shortening that head to where it has a full contraction at the top. But if you can't, if you're only limited here, that's perfectly fine. So the other thing you can do is get a set of handles, okay? Now I'm going to use the JYM strength band handles as a way for you to kind of see how this is done, because they're better than these, but it's similar to what you're looking at with an easy bar. Because again, free motion is what you want, and you don't really have to be able to use your thumb a whole lot. So again, you just take here with your fingertips in both hands, do the same thing. See how my arms are here? My hands aren't fully supinated. They're in here. I'm not even using my thumbs, but you can literally take the handles just like this and curl up to your chest too. You are still getting activation and an emphasis placed onto that bicep, okay? Just by doing this. It's a little bit easier because, again, even on a free easy bar, you're limited because it's on a fixed surface. But because this is free motion here, okay, I just want to turn out as far as I can, but the rotation of the handles allows me to actually move it to where a bar doesn't allow you to do it. So take handles, you can come in here, okay? Just move your elbows out as much as possible. The more you move your elbows out, you're going to get a little bit more of an emphasis placed onto your bicep, because you mentioned even in the video that you do a lot of cross-body hammer curls to try and target. That's perfectly fine. Those are things that you should be able to do. One of the things is just make sure that whatever you're trying to do, don't think so much about just working on your arms. If you're not limited on other exercises, do a full program. Do one of Jim's programs on the website. Literally, try any one of Jim's programs. That will actually help you in the other areas than just focusing specifically on your arms. But because of those limitations that you have, these are some alternatives. Think free motion, cables, dumbbells, bands. Think things that you don't necessarily have to worry about. It's fixed and I have to adjust my grip in order to move the weight. Think about it's not fixed and I can adjust based on my grip. And those are things that you can do. Bands are wonderful because you actually get those linear variable resistance principles, which mean the weight gets heavier the further you stretch. So I would suggest getting a set of bands. The other nice thing is with, again, this isn't an infomercial for our bands, but because of the gym strength bands, we have all these different attachments which make it really easy. Again, this is a hands-free type of an attachment. I don't have to necessarily even use my hands. I can attach it to my wrist if I wanted to. Okay, so you're actually taking the hands out of it and literally making it a hands-free type of an activity. So even if you're limited here, you can still get the benefit. Again, it shortens up the lever arm, but that's okay. The load is what you really have to worry about, the lever arm shortens. So again, if you're limited here, you can still do these type of movements here to where you're not actually holding the weight. And if you're worried about holding the weight because there's not enough load, you don't have to worry about that with bands because you're not even using your arm. You can attach the band around anything, even here. Do the same type of a thing. You're in here, you work that type of a movement. It's really good for a hands-free way to try and utilize it. If you're limited on the weight because you can't physically hold it, I'm telling you, get the straps. Just do that, you'll be good to go. So if you have any questions, man, let me know. Okay, I hope this video helps you. Until next time, it's Mike McElwain with The Gym and Gym Supplement Science.